Hi people! Today I wanted to talk about how you can help yourself to start releasing control of things. Control is something which, unfortunately, I have to say, has been a pretty big theme in my life. I grew up with an environment with a lot of control in it, and also, unfortunately, as I discovered about myself as I aged, I also had adopted, unfortunately, a lot of these controlling, I guess you could say, habits. They're not really habits. Maybe that is the right word. At any rate, what I wanted to talk about again was how you can start to release controlling things so much. Because I came to a place, this is pre now, however, I reached a point where I was like, wow, I'm really trying to control everything. And what's crazy about it is I used to think that I derived safety and a sense of, I don't even know, safety is the best word I guess I have, from that. And as it turns out, releasing control gave me an infinitely greater sense of safety and well-being in general than I thought that I had when I was controlling everything. So I invite you first and foremost to really release control. And then so that's, I guess, tip number one of these two. Not that everything can be easily categorized and referenced and labeled and numbered into steps and whatnot. However, what helped me to release control is accepting what is. And it is a tough one. And trust me, I know. For example, I'll give you one from my past, from my health experience. So just so you have some sort of practical example of what I'm talking about. I want to say this was like maybe a decade ago now, maybe more than that. I was struggling with my health and I had developed this like tremor, basically. I'm laughing about it now, but honestly, even still, if I even get remnants of this, I'm like, it like panics me because I think what's happening to my body. At any rate, 10 years ago or something around there, I was struggling with my body and I developed this really strange tremor. Now, you may or may not know about me, some of you probably do. I'm a musician. And so what was happening that made this particularly, like in the first days of it, I was like, this is fine. And I kind of noticed it, but I was like, nah, it's not anything to worry about. It'll probably pass. And then it didn't. I like continued to be shaky. And then it kind of like developed a little bit to the point to where, and I'm a flute player, so when I would try to play my flute, it was as if I was doing vibrato, except it was just because my arms were basically like that. I mean, that's an exaggerated version of how much I was actually shaking. However, I can tell you that my muscles in my body were involuntarily shaking so much that it did genuinely sound like I was trying to give vibrato to my flute playing. So I literally like couldn't do things without this shaking affecting everything. I was constantly like, I don't know, nothing happens now, but back then, like you could have maybe seen a little bit of that happening. So I finally went to the doctor and yada, figured out what was happening. My point about it is sometimes in the moment, what we have to do, or what we get to do, it really is what we get to do, what we get to accept is to learn how to accept things as they are. Life is a journey which I would say for the most part, we don't understand what in the heck is going on, meaning we don't understand how the puzzle pieces are all being put together for us. And I do intentionally say for us because one big lesson over the last year is that everything in our lives is really and truly aligning for us and for our greater good, no matter what it looks like. That whoever it is upstairs, whoever they are, wherever they are, they're aligning the steps in a way that you can't even conceive of to be the right path. And it is divinely oriented, I don't know, whatever. It's set up for you to follow those breadcrumbs for fun, for enjoyment. And look, everybody experiences the ups and downs. That is quite literally the reason that if you saw my other video, I was talking about life as a roller coaster. Because I mean, it is. Emotions take us like this, and the journey of life in general takes us like this, because I also do really believe that if our journey was just like boop in a straight line, we'd be so bored. We'd be so bored. And I know, I really do. Like intimately from the bottom of my heart, I understand that when you're going through a tough time, you're like, girl, ain't no universe got anything in my corner right now. The heck you mean? Just trust me, please, that everything does pass, and that even those times are for our greater good. And the funny part about it, something somebody I respected was recently talking about, is that a lot of the times when things fall away from our life, it really is because the universe has like a bigger thing behind their back and they're like, Do you want the bigger cake? You know, so I invite you to see your challenges as an invitation to step up and understand that when you are going through hard times, that a lot of the time, that's just to set you up for the time after. It is somebody along my journey described it, the journey of life and sort of the peaks and valleys, as a slingshot. And I think it's a really good analogy because, or even a rubber band, if you will. But you pull it back. And if you want to think about life like that, when you're on the pullback, that's the down times, the not fun times, the struggles, the challenges. And then they're setting you up for when you finally release the slingshot, it goes shoom, and you go flying forward or whatever. You have a good experience following that. Understand that all chaos leads to order, and that is a rule of the universe. It's crazy and it's true. It plays out over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it's just in varying degrees and how much we can accept it. So if you're looking, how can I let go of some of this control that I have that seems to be keeping me so confined? Like I feel like I'm boxed into a corner that's like, oh, that big. Then I invite you to accept what's here in front of you. You know, accept what you do have. And again, here I am talking about how this all ties into gratitude. Be grateful for what you have, and you'll find that it makes those harder times pass more quickly, and that during them, you're able to a little bit more see that, you know what, I know that this is going to pass, and that at the end of it, there's something even better. And the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. So I hope you have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day. I hope that I didn't not make too much sense in that video. I just invite you that if you are a control freak like I used to be, to release control and learn. The sooner you learn to accept things, the better. And I'm not saying, by the way, to accept like injustice and negative stuff. What I mean is that when you're in those harder times, to understand that there is a bigger reason for it, and that bigger reason, even if you don't know what it is for your own greater good. And that's a fundamental truth of the universe. So anyway, have a blessed, beautiful rest of your day. If you need any support, feel free to always reach out confidentially to this email address, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And you beautiful cats, have a good one, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste and much love. Bye. How you can help yourself to stop, or to start rather, like, girl, ain't no universe got anything in my corner right now. The heck you mean? Oh, you're being so self-centered. And I do intentionally say for us, because one big lesson over the last year is that everything in our lives is really and truly aligning for us and for our greater good, no matter what it looks like.